Hey, how's it going, Thunder? Me again here with another update video. Not quite as much progress as the last update, mostly because I didn't want to take the general idea too far in one direction before I got, your thoughts on things. Not to like cast any blame or fault with you or anything like that, but it ended up being a good thing because I didn't run too far with the whole like rocket invasion to the point where, it'd be, too much of a hassle to go back. But I did come in here and add in, the other Pokeballs to show off, the Kanto starters, Riolu and Eevee. And I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of things, so let's just dive right into it. So, first order of business is this first little event in here. As soon as you cross over into here, your rival is up here because he was going to use the Pokefood to call Pokemon from the shrine. So when you catch him here instead of over near the lab, this is where I originally did have you planning to pick up the Pokefood if you came this way before you went to, talk to the professor. You talk to him a little bit, and he decides, you know what, I'll give you, something to keep you quiet. Don't tell him I was over here, basically. And this is originally how I was planning for you to get the Pokefood. He leaves or whatever, right? And the Pokefood doesn't do anything, it just helps you, catch static Pokemon, for instance. But, since you're here at the shrine, you can interact with it, and now that you have the Pokefood to offer to the shrine, you can offer it. It played Celebi's Cry, the flash happens, and now two Pokemon popped up in the overworld. A little Pikachu sprite and an Eevee sprite. I actually had to make this Eevee sprite myself, because the game didn't really have an overworld sprite for Eevee, but I think it came out alright. So, general idea here was that you could, interact with one of the Pokemon, and after your offering you can take one of them with you, but the other one's going to leave. Which was my original idea. Right? You can come over here to talk to Pikachu, come over here to talk to Eevee, whichever one. After you pick one, the other one disappears. And I thought it'd be a cool little way to pick up an additional Pokemon to your starter. And it didn't really matter. Flash happens, they're gone. You don't have any more Pokefood, so you can't do anything here. The only real problem with this event as it is right now is I don't really have a way for the game to check that you've already done it. So if you leave, come back, you can pretty much just trigger the event again and pick up another Eevee or another Pikachu, even though the rival's already left. So that's a little bit of a problem, but I can afford to change it so you can get the Pokefood somewhere else, and the shrine will still just check and see if you have Pokefood on you or not. So I can run with the idea that you have to get it after, talking to everyone in town or something, or they give you hints to, the idea that the rival took it or something. Other big thing. I've gone in here, and as you can see, there are definitely more Pokeballs in here now than there were before. Yeah, so pretty much your rival's late, so he's letting you pick a Pokemon first. Now, each of these has, again, top row, I've got the Kanto starters. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. Bottom are, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. And then in the middle, we've got Riolu and Eevee. So I can drop Eevee from the Pokefood event and just let it be, Pikachu or some other Pokemon like Togepi maybe. And we can save Eevee for, this area. But the only problem is when you select a Pokemon like Cyndaquil here, right? It shows this image first. And then it asks you, is this what you want? There aren't really images like that for a Pokemon like Riolu or Charmander. So right now the game still pulls from those images even though it's a different Pokemon, right? So I could go in and make those myself. I don't think it would take too long, but that's one thing I have to kind of go in there and make myself. I can really just pull from the battle sprites, toss a background on them and stuff, and that will be fine. But yeah, this works pretty well. Over here, it shows Chikorita and plays its cry, but with a little bit more work, I can just turn that into a Riolu. Pokemon loads in and stuff perfectly fine. And you can see Riolu's little sprite and stuff. It doesn't really matter, right? And this is kind of the event I was telling you about before, where he's about to give you this long, time-consuming whatever, and the rival shows up to tell you that, the town's overrun or whatever. Again, kind of, what I was telling you about the other day. So the idea here would be that, he has to pick a Pokemon, you head to the shrine, he'll follow you there in a minute after he grabs something. But I'm perfectly fine with putting the brakes on this for right now, and doing something else. As you can see, we've got both Pokemon in the party here. You can check their natures and stuff later. But oh yeah, I also made it where you can come back in here, talk to the professor, and heal. If your Pokemon get busted up or whatever. Because the way it's set up right now, most of these guys are kind of walling the area off right now, so there's not too many places you can go while the invasion is happening. You kind of just have to like fight your way back to the shrine. But I'm perfectly fine like putting the brakes on this for right now, like getting a more like traditional, hey, go to the next town and pick up a thing. That's perfectly fine with me. I've just got a couple of ideas I want to run by you about what this thing could be, or if it's just a parcel or whatever, that's fine too. And an idea for Team Rocket here. So right now, I've just got a bunch of Team Rocket guys in here for the evil team. I do, however, what if we used a different team name and we called them Team Discord? I've got a couple of. I was kind of just messing around one day and thought like, hey, what if I did just make the evil team like Discord, and like the step above them, like the admins of Team Discord or the Discord mods, and we just threw like a couple of names in there, from like a couple of people in the Discord. I've got a couple of designs here that I kind of just made my off time. Let me know what you think of that, and if you've got any themes or big ideas for like the first few towns, let me know. Again, I can kind of see what all I have to work with when it comes to map design here. There's still like plenty of assets and stuff from Gold and Crystal, and a couple of different like map settings and whatever. Any thoughts, comments? Again, feel free to share. Let me know. And I think that's about it in terms of stuff I have to show for right now. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll get to work on brushing up a couple of these things, like adding these other tables in here while this is being invaded. And I'll go ahead and get started on the next town, figure out this side quest with the professor. Maybe as you just go fetch a packet for him or something pertaining to Celebi, or maybe he gives you an item like in Glaze that lets you, communicate with Pokemon. So if there's any more like overworld Pokemon walking around with trainers, or Pokemon being used by the evil team, you can talk to them or something. But yeah, that about does it. I'll see you around.